Hello, good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about some of the news that's going on in the tech world. And one of the first things is kind of a funny story. With the release of the iPad 2, Apple is paying very close attention to the reasons why the iPads are coming back. Is there a technical issue? Is there something that needs to be fixed in the production process? And one of these, I guess it wasn't a very common issue. The reason was, wife said no, had to bring it back, and this turned into a bit of a joke, making its way up the ranks in Apple. Then a couple of VPs got a hold of it and went ahead and sent this guy a free iPad with a note saying Apple says yes. So I thought that was pretty funny. Just one very interesting story I saw out there. What else is going on? For any T-Mobile customers out there wondering if there was maybe an iPhone coming out for T-Mobile. Verizon just got one. How long are they going to have to wait before T-Mobile gets a phone? Well, here's the story now. There's been a deal in the process that's going to be finalized in about 12 months where T-Mobile and AT&T are merging, or rather AT&T is acquiring T-Mobile. So this kind of thing happens all the time with mergers. As you know, especially these big communication companies with mergers and splits, back around, what was it, the turn of the century, 2001, Singular became the largest communications company, which was actually a join between AT&T and Bell South, which was part of SBC. And again, in 2005, SBC acquired that company, which became AT&T. So now it's pretty clear that probably the T-Mobile name will go away and it'll just be AT&T. So the dilemma is, if you're a T-Mobile customer, I imagine is, well, the iPhone 5 is coming out, that's going to be before the merger. What do I do? Should I just switch over to AT&T and get the iPhone, or stay with T-Mobile? And I think maybe the best solution would actually be to, if your contract is up, just go ahead and switch over to AT&T, but breaking a contract can be a couple $100 for cancellation fees. So if it's not up, maybe just stay with T-Mobile, and at some point it'll be the same company. And I'm sure there's going to be some sort of reward, loyalty for staying as a T-Mobile AT&T customer, but we'll have to see what's going on with that. Okay, what else is going on? There's a lot of talk about NFC, which is it's near field communication, and one of the biggest applications of this would be to have the ability to swipe your phone for payment and information transfer. So instead of carrying around your credit cards, you could carry on your phone, as long as all the merchants had the gizmo to communicate with that technology. And it's a really interesting thing. I think it's something that actually over in some of the eastern countries, they're already using this for, I don't know if they're using it for payment, but I know they're using it for like your bus ticket and so forth that has your information on your phone. So this is pretty interesting because now what does this mean for Apple? Apple's always coming out with a lot of pretty innovative stuff, and I think this is one of the things that could even help turn Apple into from one of the biggest technology companies to one of the biggest companies, period. Because what they would actually be doing is turning themselves into a payment processing company as well, just like MasterCard or Visa. So now any payment you do is being processed through iTunes, and they get the cut, just like the credit card company now gets like a 2% fee for processing the payment. So it's very interesting. That could be a whole new revenue source for Apple. But I think it'd be pretty neat to be able to just swipe your phone and do a payment. There's a lot of people out there that have the concern about security, your phone's getting hacked or lost. I don't know if this is such a concern because, I mean, come on, they're going to think about ways to make sure the encryption is there. And right now, if you have a credit card, you're not 100% safe either, because I've had friends where, they go to the gas station, swipe their card, and someone has put some sort of a gizmo on the pump to actually extract that information. So you're never safe, and I think there would actually be ways with the authentication, swipe it, put in your PIN, that could actually make it more secure than using a credit card. What else do we have going on? There's rumors about the iPhone 5, which ties in a little bit to the NFC conversation. And it's unlikely, I don't think we're going to see NFC on the iPhone 5, but probably on the iPhone 6. That's going to be one of the big things that people are talking about in 2012. But on the iPhone 5, the iPad 2 just came out, so we're done with the iPad 2 rumors. Now we're going to start talking about the iPhone 5. Every year there's been a new iPhone that's been launched in the June-July area, and the official announcement usually happens in May. So about another 2 months before we get the official word, but the rumors are flying. And what we're seeing from the rumors, again, who knows what some of this is, but there are some decently reliable sources saying that we're not going to have the glass back anymore. It's going to probably be the silver metal back, kind of like the iPad and the MacBooks. So no glass back, slightly larger screen. We already have that very nice Retina display. I, for one, am very excited for the iPhone 5 because it'll give me the chance or excuse to upgrade. I have the 3GS right now, so that'll be a big step up for me. Okay, today is Wednesday the 23rd, and in 2 days they should be having some international, in a couple countries are going to start getting the iPad 2 starting at 5 o'clock on Friday evening. And I see that as good news because Apple's been having some tough time keeping up with all the demand, and there's rumors that they were not going to make their international ship dates. So looks like they're doing everything they can to keep on their original announced production schedule and get those out to the consumer. So I think that's good news. There's been a little bit of talk out there that's with the app stores, and one of the big advantages that Apple has over the competitors is that they have this amazing, very extensive app store. And with intellectual property, Apple is going on the defense for some other companies like Amazon and Microsoft that want to call their application purchase system an app store as well. And Apple wants to keep that as a trademark that they use, that no one else can call their system an app store. And it's anytime there's a legal discussion like this, it gets difficult because Microsoft is saying, well, that's the same thing. You can't trademark a flower shop or a tire store. It's just what it is. That's where you buy applications. And Apple is countering by saying, well, Windows, that's been a pretty generic term that you've kept as an intellectual property for a long time. That's a pretty general name too. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes. I don't know if it matters too much. I don't know if the consumers are that confused if they're going to get a Windows phone now because, this has the App Store too. We'll just have to see about that. One last thing I was going to mention, I did do a quick mention of this in one of my videos, but for anyone who was trying to decide, do I get the iPad that has the Wi-Fi only, or do I want to spend the extra $130 to get the 3G capability as well? And what that extra upgrade gets you is a GPS chip and access to cellular data. So now, that's awesome because now just like on your phone, you're going to be able to access your web pages and data from anywhere. And of course, that's going to cost you another $15, $25 a month for AT&T. And the Verizon iPad they have a bigger, they have a little bit different, where I think it starts again at 15, but then goes up to like 50 or 60 bucks a month if you want like 5 or 6 gigs. So with the extra cost, along with the monthly fee that you're going to be facing, that's one of the things that made me decide that at this time around I'll just stick with the Wi-Fi. And also now on the iPhone 4 and on the iPhone 5 when it comes out, they have the mobile hotspot, which it's going to cost you a little bit more on your plan, but then you'll be able to share it with your iPad or computer. You're still going to have like a 4 gigabyte limit, which is sufficient, but obviously just got to keep an eye on it with watching Netflix or using too much data, especially plugging it into a computer. But the thing I was excited about is, it seems like not a very well-known thing out there, is that by using that mobile hotspot, you will be able to, and the cool thing about that is the mobile hotspot not only transmits the data, but apparently it also transmits your GPS location for use on the iPad, which is pretty neat. Not only you got your data, but also gives an accurate GPS and pretty much turns your iPad Wi-Fi only into a 3G by using the hotspot. So that's a pretty cool feature. It's another reason to go ahead and save a little bit and get the lower iPad. One final thing, it's a very cool feature that I was able to set up on this iPad, is to get the multi-gestures, which allows you to do the pinch to close the application. You can do 4 fingers up to access the multitasking taskbar, as well as switch left and right between applications, which pretty much gets rid of the need for the home button. Maybe something that they're going to do in the future, to have a giant display and no home button. But either way, it saves a lot of time when you're switching between applications instead of using that home button, double clicking or clicking. And this is not available, it was not made available to the consumer iOS. So what I did, it wasn't a jailbreak, but it was a video I made how you download Xcode, plug in your iPad, and basically click use for development, and then you'll have that functionality. So look for that other video, and let me know what you think about what I've talked about today, if you have any recommendations for when I do these news discussions. But thank you for your time, everyone, and have a great day.